We made it to Maryland safely. I couldn't go home just yet. I needed to go to a rehabilitation and health care center. Couldn't go home. And I miss my home so much, but I just couldn't yet. I wasn't there yet, okay? People did not want to come see me. People didn't want to come visit me because they felt I deserved it. You know, where I come from is still a little taboo, doing stuff like that. Although a lot of people do it where I come from, but it's still not something they would talk about. They will keep it to themselves. They will just yeah. They will not talk about it. It's not that I didn't want to talk about it so much. It's just whatever happened, it was just more looked at like, it's because, whatever she did, she shouldn't have been doing it. It's just wrong. It's just plain old wrong. This is why whatever is happening to her is happening to her.
People felt I deserved it.
People felt I deserved it. Why did I choose surgery? Why didn't I just do it alone? Why didn't I just do it naturally? Whatever natural means, right? People felt I deserved it. They did not want to have anything to do with me. And they were probably right. Yes. Everything they thought about me was probably right, butterflies. Everything they thought about me was right. Now what? Listen, I'm not here to feel bad about myself. I am here to heal, grow, love, and of course, always, like a true Sagittarian, learn. I had to literally destroy myself and put every little pieces of me back together to understand me and all of us. I remember, way back, I was planning this, like literally planning how I was gonna go. I needed to go. I was too sick. I felt purposeless. I felt worthless. And I was just like always planning it, like thinking I'm gonna, I don't need to be here. And this was like I'm saying way back, but this was like an everyday struggle, everyday planning. And I was thinking, I don't need to be here. Why am I even here? I want to get to do it again. I want another chance, okay? And I would often like brainstorm about how I wanted to go or how I wanted to come back. Did I want to come back as a baby? Do I want to be a grown up, or do I do I want to be the same person? Do I want to be in the same body? And it's funny because I didn't even understand or believe in reincarnation. I didn't understand and particularly believe in rebirth. But I just had those feelings as of, maybe I could reincarnate. Maybe I could just be born again. But do I start off as a baby? Am I being born again? Do I come back in the same family? Like literally, it felt so good thinking about it all the time. That was way back before I had my first son. So I often think of when, if, what, where. I was just having all those stuff in my mind. I was spending too much time in here. So I had kept it tucked inside of me somewhere, and of course I was trying to enjoy having this family, my babies, all that, but it was always there. That feeling of wanting to go and come back, it never left me. That feeling never left me. So let's get back to the rehabilitation and health care center. I still needed dialysis. I had no muscle mass left. My legs were just weak and tired. I was extremely depleted of my blood. I was still bleeding nonstop, but here in Maryland, we don't do that stuff. We don't do the blood transfusion as we do in Miami. We just, no, they don't, they will just try to find other ways unless you really, really need that blood. So I wasn't receiving as much blood anymore. It was so hard getting up every morning for physical therapy, and I didn't have a choice. I was not looking forward to it. It was not exciting yet, although I wanted to walk, right? I wanted to do it, but I didn't. I was just like, I'm feeling so tired and weak. What's going on? Why am I not getting better? I needed help for everything. That bleeding was still going, and I wasn't getting as much blood as I was getting there, so I was even more tired. It was almost like I was just there. Because of the infection in my stomach, I didn't want to do anything, but I really didn't have a choice. I was really determined to get better. I was really determined to get well, regardless of my circumstances at the time. One day, it finally happened. My husband was staying the night with me, as he would most of the time, and he actually screamed. He called my name and he was like, "You are bleeding." And I'm like, I was fast asleep, which I was doing a lot, which I enjoyed doing, because what else was I going to do feeling as weak as I was feeling? And he's just like, "Look at your stomach, look." And of course, there was blood all over. It had never gone that bad. It had never been that bad. Although I was bleeding every day, but it had never been that bad. It was all over the place. I'm telling you, it was scary. We called the nurse, or all the people, we called people that were there, and they decided to call an ambulance. It was so needed. Yeah, it was about time, of course. It was about time. They needed to call the ambulance. Butterflies, I'm telling you, I had been so weak there, and they were just trying to clean my stomach all the time through my belly button. And it was just funny. They would just do that, but it was never healing. Nothing was happening. It was the same thing. And they were seeing, I was looking at them. They were so serious, trying to clean up my stomach every day. Because there was a big hole in my stomach, by the way. And I had a lot of infection in there. I had infection everywhere, actually. Everywhere was infected, I have to tell you. In the beginning, everywhere was infected. I'm sure they were giving me a bunch of antibiotics as well. I wasn't paying much attention, but yeah, my ears were infected, my nose was infected, my throat was infected, my mouth was infected when I woke up from this coma. Everything was infected, but everything else got better, because at some point my ears were so bad at some point, butterflies, but it got better. Everything got better. All the infections I had was getting better, but the stomach had stayed that way for a long time. The ambulance comes and they take me to the hospital, and I think a day later they found a surgeon that would operate on me. And they really didn't have any choice but to operate on me. He decided to operate a day later. I had been in the emergency room. I was feeling weak and tired. So I was gone again for another procedure, of course. I just had to go for another procedure. I went in. Everything went well. Thankfully, everything had gone well, and he told us later on that I had 2 big discs of infection. I've never forgotten it. And he said that I had 2 big discs of infection. He had removed all of it, because one side of my belly was more bloated than the other one, which was my right side. Most of the infection was on the right side. It was very bloated and painful. I remember my aunt was always poking, and she was like, "What is there? Why isn't anybody telling us what's in that stomach? Like, why is that side more bloated than the other side?" So he said that's where most of the infection was, on the right side, and they were really big. He couldn't believe it. He just couldn't believe it. He was just like, why did they let you have that for that long? So after getting that surgery, I went back to the rehabilitation and healthcare center. I started walking. It was easy. I was just like, I threw that walker away. And I was almost even burning. They were like, "Slow down, Diane, slow down, take it easy." They were like, "Well, we still have some time here. This is happening so fast." At the rehabilitation center, they wouldn't believe it. They wouldn't believe how fast I was actually recovering, right? And I started losing more fluid. I became extremely slim at the time. And I was actually even surprised. My family was even more surprised, right? They were just like, "We didn't know you were that small, ever." Everything was happening faster now. The infection in my stomach was actually slowing me down a lot, given the fact that I was ready to go from the beginning. So as soon as I had that removed, it was becoming better. Things were happening. Although I was still sick, really, because it was going to take some time because of everything I had gone through. It was going to take some time for me to start really healing. You know, I was still on dialysis, of course, but I had lost a lot of that fluid, and my kidneys were not back yet. They were not coming back. I was often wondering, where was my belly button? I was just like, well, I'm healing, but I'm not seeing a belly button. I had a belly button when I went through this and stuff. So one day I called the surgeon, the doctor that performed that procedure on my stomach, and he told me that he couldn't save my belly button. There was no way to save it, and that the belly button is gone. He said that the belly button was gone. Like, I had to say goodbye. I had to be like, goodbye to the belly button. It was just weird not having a belly button. What can I do, butterflies? What can I do? I had to move on without a belly button. I'm sure some people don't have belly buttons and they are okay. They are all good. But the funny thing is, the little pain on my right side has never really gone away. It has never really all gone away. It's still kind of present, but I can handle it. It's all good. I often feel like maybe I'll have to do something about it, but that's like later on. As of now, I'm still just like healing, enjoying life, breathing, living, enjoying and dancing. Of course, I'm still like dancing and having some fun. So I felt well enough and ready to go home. My family was super happy, so excited, and then they leave happily ever after. No. Listen, it was just like a new thing in my life. It was a new process, okay? I never wanted to stop driving. My husband thought that he was going to have to drive me all the time. I was like, no, I'm not having it.
We're not having it.
I'm gonna drive. And I was still walking funny. I was still not really stable like that on my feet. Like I said, I was like a newborn, but I was like, I don't want people to be driving me. I really like to be independent. However, it's possible, I want to be independent. So I was just like, no, I want to drive myself. So I had to wake up at like 5 o'clock in the morning to go to a new dialysis center. Yes, I had to meet a new community, make new friends, just going to a new place. And I felt that going to that place, no, it wasn't gentle. The dialysis wasn't that gentle. Dialysis was never gentle. What am I about to say? But it was just nice meeting new people. It was an okay place to go to. It was an okay place to go to. I was just hoping that my kidneys would come back at the time. I was just like, where are you, kidneys? Come on, kidneys, do something. But I didn't know much about, kidneys still. I wasn't reading about it. I could have spent more time educating myself about kidneys and how to heal them or how to make them better, but I had so much going on. I wasn't educating myself about kidneys. So I started practicing positivity. I wanted to manifest the kidney because all those people needed a kidney. And if I was going to have to wait, it was going to be a long time. I don't think I would be here if I had to wait too long. It's funny because I never wanted to get on that kidney list. I always felt I was going to heal alone, but after a little while, being positive, showing up for myself, getting to know myself, falling in love with myself, just all those beautiful things, I actually manifested a kidney, which is on that video up there. And maybe if you want to manifest, it's going to help you in your manifestation. I am always super thankful for my life. I believe that anything beautiful and positive that you want is possible. I do believe in miracles, and I believe you should too, because it's so helpful for how I'm growing and my mindset and everything. So I think you should believe in miracles because, yeah, they do exist. Believe in your healing. Do never underestimate the power of the light within you. I love you so much, butterflies. Goodbye.